Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. We're going to uncover the mysteries of an island where people regularly live past 100 years old and not just survive, but live with absolutely extraordinary vitality. We're taking a trip to the southern end of Japan to unlock a philosophy that could, literally, completely change how you view your daily routine, how you handle stress, and honestly, how you find your ultimate purpose.
So, what is your reason for getting up in the morning? I really want you to ask yourself this right now. Think about it. Why do you get out of bed? Because finding the answer to that exact question, well, that might literally be the secret to biological longevity. It's the engine that drives the longest living people on planet Earth. And that brings us to this fascinating book called Ikigai, The Japanese Secret to a Long and Happy Life. To write it, the authors traveled to Okinawa, Japan, and specifically to this rural town of about 3,000 people called Ogimi. This lush, green town actually boasts the highest life expectancy in the entire world. It's really no wonder they call it the Village of Longevity. To put that into perspective for you, Okinawa boasts an incredible 24.55 centenarians, meaning people over the age of 100, for every 100,000 inhabitants. That completely blows the global average out of the water. But you know what's even more remarkable? These folks don't just live a long time. They suffer from way fewer chronic illnesses, like cancer and heart disease, and their rates of dementia are incredibly low.
Let's get into Section 1, the Island of Longevity, and look at their daily habits for health. The whole secret starts with the hara hachibu rule. This is a super common saying in Japan that they repeat before or after eating, and it basically translates to fill your belly to 80%. See, Okinawans intentionally stop eating when they feel their stomach is just 80% full. By not overeating, they stop their bodies from wearing down through these long, exhausting digestive processes that actually accelerate cellular oxidation and aging. Plus, they serve their food on multiple small plates. It's a neat little trick for the brain to feel satisfied with less, which, let's be honest, is probably a whole lot better than our modern habit of supersizing absolutely everything. Aside from a light diet, averaging just 1,800 to 1,900 calories a day and packed with tofu, sweet potatoes, and fish, they rely on constant, gentle movement. They aren't doing crazy, strenuous gym workouts. Instead, they're gardening daily and walking everywhere instead of driving. But the real anchor to their survival, it's something called the moai. A moai is a tight-knit community support group. Members chip in a set monthly amount, they play games, they share dinners, and if someone hits a rough patch, financially or emotionally, the moai is right there to catch them. That profound sense of belonging gives them a deep security that actually, tangibly, increases life expectancy.
Moving on to Section 2, unlocking your Ikigai and finding your purpose.
So physical health is great, but longevity really requires a psychological engine. This is what the Japanese call Ikigai, which roughly translates to the happiness of always being busy. Your true Ikigai is the exact intersection of four things: your passion, your mission, your profession, and your vocation. Think of it as the ultimate sweet spot where what you love, what the world actually needs, what you can get paid for, and what you are genuinely good at all overlap. Having this clearly defined brings so much life satisfaction that the whole concept of retirement, at least in the Western sense of just leaving the workforce and stopping, doesn't even exist in Okinawa. They just keep doing what they love until their bodies literally won't let them anymore. Now, for Section 3, Anti-Aging Body Secrets, and how we fight premature aging.
Now, while your Ikigai keeps you moving forward, modern life is constantly trying to drag your mind and body backward. To fight this, I want you to imagine a rabbit. This rabbit is carrying a sign with your death date on it, and it's walking into the future. Every single year you live, you're stepping closer to that sign. But if science and your healthy habits allow that rabbit to walk just as fast as you age, meaning you add 1 year of life expectancy for every year you live, you achieve what scientists call aging's escape velocity. In theory, you would literally never catch the rabbit. By adopting the right habits, we can push that rabbit further and faster into the future.
But look at the stark contrast in how we handle stress today compared to our ancestors. Cave dwellers only felt high stress during a real physical threat, like a predator. They'd get a massive, life-saving spike of adrenaline, and then boom, it was gone. Modern humans? Well, we are constantly releasing low-dose cortisol just from email notifications and cell phone pings. A study at Heidelberg University actually showed that this kind of modern, non-stop stress makes our antibodies react as if they're fighting off a pathogen. It damages healthy cells and causes premature aging. Crazy, right? So, to protect ourselves from all that modern stress, we've got to actively build defenses into our daily routines. First, we need an active, adaptable mind.
Exposing our brains to new information builds new neural connections and stops us from just running on autopilot. Next, we have to break those sedentary habits. Literally, just use your feet more. And this is absolutely crucial. You need 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Sleeping produces melatonin, which is a powerful natural antioxidant that helps slow Alzheimer's and fight cancer. You also need to practice mindfulness to filter out all that external noise. Finally, try adopting a more stoic, serene attitude toward setbacks. Letting go of that anxiety keeps your biological system stable and running smoothly.
Let's shift gears to Section 4, Healing Through Meaning, looking at Viktor Frankl's approach. If you're trying to discover your Ikigai, we can actually learn a lot from the revolutionary work of psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor Viktor Frankl. Frankl noticed a massive difference in how we treat the mind. Think about traditional psychoanalysis. It looks backward to analyze neuroses. You know the cliche, the patient lying on the couch talking about past traumas. But Frankl's logotherapy, it looks forward. In logotherapy, the patient sits right up straight. The goal isn't to dig up past instincts, it's to cure your existential frustration by helping you discover your life's meaning in the future. It treats spiritual anguish not as some kind of mental illness, but as a completely natural, beneficial catalyst for change. And Frankl proved this approach worked through his patients. Take an elderly doctor who came to him, a man completely paralyzed by grief after his wife died. Instead of analyzing the man's childhood, Frankl just asked him one question. What would have happened if you had died first? The doctor suddenly realized that his wife would have been the one suffering this agonizing grief. In that exact moment, his suffering found its meaning. He was sparing his beloved wife from pain. By stepping through these 5 stages, from feeling empty to discovering purpose to overcoming obstacles, that doctor turned immense suffering into a profound, life-affirming purpose. Which brings us to Section 5, the Morita Method, and action-based healing. So if logotherapy helps you find the meaning, Japan's Morita therapy gives you the practical action plan to get there, without letting anxiety just paralyze you. Created by Shomo Morita, a psychotherapist and Zen Buddhist, this approach is brilliantly pragmatic. Instead of trying to control your feelings, which is basically impossible, this highly structured therapy focuses entirely on your behavior. First, you're isolated in a room for almost a week with 0 stimuli, just resting and observing your own thoughts. Then you move into light, silent tasks, like writing in a diary. Next is heavy physical occupational therapy out in nature, like chopping wood in the mountains. Finally, you reintegrate into society. The whole process forces you to realize a hard truth. You cannot control your emotions, but you can always, always control your actions. Dr. Morita taught that in feelings, it's best to be wealthy and generous. Basically, you should treat your emotions exactly like the weather. You can't control the rain, right? You just observe it. He famously told this fable about a donkey tied to a post. The harder that donkey pulls and fights to escape, the more trapped and tangled it becomes in the rope. It's the exact same with our minds. When we generously accept our obsessive thoughts instead of fighting them, they just naturally pass. And only then are we actually free to take action and pursue our Ikigai. When the authors were spending time in Ogimi, a 100-year-old woman actually sang them a traditional song, and it perfectly distills everything we've been talking about today. The lyrics tell us to eat just a little bit of everything, go to bed early, get on well with our friends, and keep our fingers working. That's it. It's such a beautiful, simple formula. Eat lightly to 80%. Move your body gently every single day. Cherish your community, your moai, and never, ever stop engaging with your purpose. So I'm going to leave you with this provocative thought. Now that you know the secret of the world's longest living people, what is the very next action you will take today? Are you going to change up your diet, reach out to an old friend, or maybe just sit in silence for a few minutes to think about your reason for being? That escape velocity rocket is ticking forward right now, and your Ikigai is just waiting to be found.